so we're here in the shop today. We got the old 850 in here. She's been slightly neglected.
I'd say.
Yeah, slightly. So we've got some bushings that are no longer bushy. So we're going to get them all changed out. And we've had a bit of a hiatus going on. We've been affected by, like most people, with the COVID and everything else going on. So we're trying to get back at it and get some more quality content out for you guys. And yeah, so today we're going to be working on the 850. We got Super ATV bushing kit here. Corey's going to show you that. So we got a complete bushing kit here. So this is front, left, and right. We got rear left and rear right. We're not going to be doing the rear at this point in time because everything back there is still good. Our biggest concern is the wandering front end that wanders all over the place.
It's pretty bad.
And then at a later date, we've got the rear wheel bearings that also need to be done in this. I also have to order these same bearings because Bone Crusher's bearings are gone. So yeah, we're gonna get set up here and we're gonna get you guys in there. This is gonna be a bit more of a how-to video, a little bit more than we usually do. But I kind of want to show you guys what it is that we do, and you guys might have some questions on what it is if you haven't across this problem yourself. Very easy to fix. It's all stuff that can be done with very simple hand tools in your own garage. So we're gonna get into this and get started, and hopefully you guys learn something. Okay, so we got the tires blown off the front here. We got it up on an ATV stand.
I'll do the wiggle test.
Yep. So we're looking at these bushings here, and all that play, that's not good. This side's also pretty bad. Got a lot of play. So what we're up against right now is, in order to get into this bolt back here, we're gonna have to pull the winch off. So we're just pulling out the glove box, got the hood up. We're just kind of getting the front taken apart. We're not 100% sure yet whether we got to pull the rad. We're hoping we don't, but in order to get into this upper bushing here, we got to get a socket or a wrench in here. So we're just going to see if we can problem solve this misfit fashion. We're just going to dive into it, see what happens. That's where we're at right now. But yeah, we're definitely going to have to pull the winch out. That's definitely going to be in the way to get to the lowers. So it's a little bit of a finicky game. Changing the bushings themselves are fairly easy.
Yeah, pull the front bumper, take the winch out.
Yeah, and so the front bumper, we got 4 bolts here that we're going to pull out. But yeah, same with this side. Got lots of play. Yeah, that's not good. It's going to feel like bump steer almost when you're riding on the trails. So yeah, we're going to get this problem corrected. So right now, Corey's just pulling out the 4 bolts that hold the bumper in place. What size was that?
13.
13 mil? Okay. Grab this bumper. And that's all 4.
She might be seized in a bit.
Yep, there we go. There we go. A little bit of sand holding it in there. Who needs Loctite? Just bog it. Okay, so now we've got that apart. We got the bumper off. We're getting a little close to the winch. We're going to set you guys up on a time lapse here.
Make sure, guys, these don't fall out and you lose them. There's little nuts in there that squash. Yeah, and it holds everything tight.
So I'm going to do a nice merge plug. We've got the new design, new logo. Guys, check that out. All right, let's get you guys on a time lapse here and get some more of this blown apart. Okay, so we got the front all torn apart now. There's 2 13 mil bolts on each side that hold the winch mounting bracket to the frame. And now we're just taking the leads off of the winch itself. So there's just the 2 leads and then a small plug hiding somewhere. So yeah, we're just working on getting that apart, and then the winch will be out. And then we can assess what it is that we're going to have to remove in order to be able to get in and get the bolts out of these bushings. So yeah, that's where we're at. Just kind of giving you guys an idea as to what it takes, and all the bolts to take this all apart, they've all been not a Yamaha situation. They're all 13 mil bolts, except for the two 10 mil on the contact points on the winch. So yeah, that's where we're at now. We'll set you guys back up, and we get a little bit further, we'll pick it back up. Delicious. Yeah. So now that the old BJ is over and done with, got a little bit of the dirt out of there. So we got the winch out of here, which gave us room to get in. So we got a bolt up here for our uppers and a bolt up here, and then our lowers are right here, which is good because when we were looking at it before we took the winch out, we thought that we were actually going to have to pull the rad, which would have been slightly frustrating because there's a rad relocation kit coming for this puppy. So we'd have to take it out to put it in, to take it out to put a new one in.
I don't want to overheat anymore.
Yeah.
They're terrible design.
Oh, absolutely. They've got this rad tipped back. And if you're on a trail ride and you pick up dust and then you go through a mud hole and then you pick up dust, this gets blocked off. This bike is constantly overheating when we go and we have a trail ride where the trails get dusty and then we're in the mud. So yeah, he's got a rad relocation kit coming. It's gonna get relocated up out of here and do away with this problem. So yeah, we're gonna start blowing this thing apart. We're also gonna have to pull the castle nut out of the hub because we're gonna have to get we just gotta get the axle out of the hub to be able to pull the control arm out, so that way we can get the new bushings in.
Well, it's out.
Yeah.
Throw the new brake pads to her.
Yeah, some brand new stoppers, which is always good because sometimes you need to stop. It's not all go. So yeah, we'll get you guys set back up here on the time lapse, so that way you can see what it is that we're doing, and we'll keep bringing you guys in, showing you guys what you need to do in case this is something that you ever have to tackle yourself. Alright, so what we did is over on this side here, there's a bolt that holds the ball joint into the spindle itself. So that was 13 mil. We just took the bolt out, dropped that out. Then we've got two 15 mil bolts that hold the lower bushings in. We've got them already loosened and ready to fall out. Little wiggle, lower control arms out. So what we're doing here is we've got the lower out. So we're going to replace the bushings in the lower, we're going to put it back in, bolt it all up, and then when we're going to basically flip it, and we're going to, once we get the lower back together, then we're going to do the same steps. We're going to take this bolt out, we're going to take the shock off, and there's T25 Torx that holds your brake line in. And then, so what we're basically avoiding is we're avoiding any damage to the brake line. Because if we blew this all apart, we'd have nothing holding this in place. So by doing the lower, putting it back in, we're gonna have the lower to support the hub while we take the upper out. I did it different with my high lifter. I just blew everything apart, and then it was more on the put back together. It took a lot longer. So from doing that, I've learned that, maybe there is an easier way out there to do it. So yeah, so that's where we're at now. Everything's still supported. Brake lines aren't going to get pinched or damaged. We're going to replace these bushings that you can see they are
thrashed.
Yeah, like worn out. Bushing out. Yeah, so we're just going to get the bushings out. We're going to put the new ones in, reassemble everything, and then we're just going to do the same thing for the upper. And once we got the upper done, then we're going to switch sides and then replace the brake pads so that way it'll stop, because right now we're metal to metal. And
my wife will really appreciate that.
I'm sure she will, especially with the kids on the back. So we'll get that looked after as well. But yeah, so that's where we're at, and I think that's, in my doing this a couple times that I've done it, I think this is the best way to do it. You don't end up fighting. You don't need four hands holding things, trying to align everything. You kind of just letting it all work for you instead of work against you. So yeah, so we'll pick you guys up when we get to the next step of it. Alright, so with the magic of TV editing, brand new bushings are in. When we were putting the new bushings in, we thought maybe it'd be a good idea just to throw a shot of grease in it while we had them out. Not a grand idea.
Don't do it.
Nope. So what it did is when we put it in, it pushed the bushing out, and we weren't able to push it back in, so we literally had to just pull the brand new bushing back out, clean all the grease off, and put it in. So, little DIY FYI, you don't need to do that step. So yeah, so now that's gone in there like that. We got our bolts back in. It's just a matter of how you hold your tongue. I can see the hole. Maybe you need to turn the lights out, I don't know. Alright, so we got one in. And then there is a proper way to put these in. So you want your bolt to go from the inside out, and that they do that in case the nut falls off. Your bolt's not gonna rattle out, and you're not gonna have your lower control arm just decide, hey, I'm out, and disappear on you. So you want the bolt to go from the middle of the control arm to the outside, and then the nuts be on the outside.
One-handed.
Yeah. So
okay, we're started.
Put that on the back of this one. That's pretty much, that's the lower control arm done. Upper is a little more labor intensive because you got to disconnect the shock and you got to pull the brake line mount off, but we're pretty much.
So he's just going to buzz them back up. I'm not sure if there's a torque, but I'm sure Derek will just give it one of his classic Ugga-duggas and call it good enough. We'll pick it up and we'll start tearing down the top. Okay.
So when we went to pull the upper, we ran into a little bit of a situation where the bolt is just hitting the bottom of the fan shaft itself.
I can see it.
So right now we're just loosening up the rod mounts. We're not going to take it right out, but we're going to pull these mounts here. We only need like 1/8 of an inch, maybe 1/4 of an inch to get the bolt to be able to slide through. So we're just trying to get ourselves some wiggle room here.
I'll pick it up once we get the shroud slid up, and then you can see what we're talking about.
Yep. Okay, so in order to buy ourselves the wiggle room that we needed to get the bolt out, we had to remove one bolt from the rad mount here, a bolt holding the plastics to the top of the rad there, same on this side. And then with them, they have, this is for your headlights. It was down in underneath, so we just kind of slid it back, got ourselves some wiggle room, and we were able to lift it up, slid the bolt right out. So it's just one of those things to keep in mind, that everything is so tight and everything overlaps each other that sometimes you just gotta come up and move a few things just to get the wiggle room that we want, which is great that we got it without having to take the rad out, because wouldn't want to have to take the rad out and then put it back in to take it out for the rad relocate. So yeah, we managed to get ourselves enough wiggle room, so we're gonna keep on plugging forward and get these changed. Okay, so we've got everything out. We've separated the ball joint from the spindle. We got our shock out, we got our brake line out, got our 2 upper bolts out. So now we're just gonna give it a little wiggle, drop the light on the floor. Ooh, I wasn't getting any grease. But yeah, there, so that's the upper control arm out, and just like we'd said, we left everything together, so now we don't have to pull axles, we don't have to worry about the brake lines getting damaged. Makes a big difference, just like the other ones. Pull the bushings and the rods out, give her a tidy up, put the new bushings in, and this side will be done. And then we'll be moving on to the communical theatrics of the other side. Should be pretty good. Can't wait to...
Let's actually film you pushing the new ones.
Yeah, it's pretty simple.
And because we kind of skipped that.
Yeah, I'm gonna show it. Use the rad bolts. I'm just tidying everything up. SuperATV does an amazing job of packing. Look at that coming out of the tube.
She might have been abused.
Oh yeah, it's like everything else in the fleet. Don't run nothing easy. If we run it easy, we ain't running it that day. Yeah. Let's give her the old blowout, she'll be good. Very simple.
Want that.
So you got your two caps. Everything slides in nice and easy from brand new. Like that. That's all there is to it. Very simple, easy job. A lot of people don't want to do it. I get it. Some people aren't mechanically inclined. For those who are, that is literally as simple and easy as it is. Brand new bushing, she's ready to go in for another 13 years of beating. Alright guys, so we got it all buttoned back together. Nice to see there's no play, there's no sway. And while we were here, while we had everything, we took our 2 bolts out. We took the 3/16 Allen out of the end. Used the old force thumb to get the piston back in, but we've got the brand new brake pads on. So yeah, this side is 100% completely ready to go. And we're just gonna switch the process over to the other side, put her all back together, button her up, and call her a day, but we'll make you laugh along the way. Control arm off. Bushings out. Bushings in.
Okay.
Ooh. Here we go. Control arm in. Control arm out. Upper.
New bushings in.
Control arm on. Rads in. Done. Clip in. Check out the accurate. We got her dialed, boys. Trail ready. Tires are on. Alright guys, so that wraps up rebuilding the front end on this bike. We got it all done. Hopefully you guys find some of what we shared with you, useful and helps you do it instead of saving it and taking it to a dealership and being charged 4 or 5 hours of labor. It's something really simple. Anybody that's got a set of wrenches can do it in their garage. But we really appreciate you guys watching. We got a lot of big things in the works coming up this year. Got some stuff top secret going on with Bone Crusher and Megatron. Hopefully get those figured out in the next couple weeks here, and got a couple new bikes that we're going to announce here shortly. So should be a good season next year. We're getting everything prepared, ready to go. So we hope you like what you see. Like, share, subscribe, comment, and we'll catch you next time.